In the intricate tapestry of contemporary political discourse, Hassan embarks on a captivating exploration of his perspective, navigating the turbulent waters of American politics and society with the precision of a seasoned orator.
False. I wish that's not the case. And the other factor here is like my impact. People that think my impact is actually bad, that I'm actually like regularly, I guess, I don't know, brainwashing people into not believing that America is good. You have said that you're the biggest on Twitch. That's a little bit different, I think, than me saying I'm the biggest political commentator, don't you think? The daily active usership of Twitch is marginal in comparison to like other video platforms. I hope you understand that. Yes, I'm the biggest political commentator on Twitch. That doesn't mean I'm the biggest political commentator. We're talking about a video game platform. What are we talking about? You think that, yeah. Anyway, the point is this. You're the biggest one they can interact with and reach because of the nature of live streaming. My point is this. I think that I've heard libs go after you for pushing people to the right by being divisive. Yeah, there's like, you'll notice something. I think a lot of people will come up with different reasons as to why I'm bad. And ultimately, the major difference is that they just don't agree with me. And oftentimes they're more conservative than I am. But they still want to maintain the aesthetic of being someone who's not a liberal and like more radical than liberal. So they look at like actual radical politics and are scared of it and hate that like it has to be like someone like myself and my existence makes them look bad in the eyes of normies, because then it's like they can't just say that they're just a regular liberal. So they have to turn around and say I'm like an ultra, like, or, well, they don't say that. They don't know what that term is, but they say I'm a tankie, right? And I think like part of the reason is because they're it's just very aesthetics focused. I'm going to move on from this point in a second. But one thing that I have talked about quite a bit back in the day, and maybe it bears repeating now, is that like, because I've always wanted to build a large coalition, I don't really care about people that are to my further left, right? And I oftentimes will let a lot of things go, even if I don't fully agree with someone. Why do I do this? Well, I'll tell you why. Because those who are further down the line in their radical politics to myself, they'll end up pushing the needle in the direction that I think it must go. But that also is the reason why there are plenty of social democrats who I ultimately won't agree with, that I think are valid in their criticisms of the American project that has been a failure so far. Because from where we are standing, if you look at the material conditions, if you look at what American existence looks like, social democrats, or people who only preach social democracy, are still entirely considered radical. Look at Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has never pushed for any policy that is beyond social democracy. Okay? So I think ultimately my goal is to change people's minds. Anarchists are based as fuck. Go read some Malatesta. I've never read Malatesta, but I have read Kropotkin. I don't know why you are saying go read Kropotkin, my dude. I have. Anyway, I feel like you do the same thing with anarchists sometimes. Not all of us are extremely crusty. I agree. I mean, I'm making jokes, but I make jokes about fucking Marxist-Leninists too. I make jokes about every aspect of the left, and I make jokes about social democrats as well. Now, my point is this, okay? How can you say it's a failure? Maybe in the most literal sense of the word, but America is the longest standing democracy in the history of the world. It has proven a lot of things. Yeah, like might is right politics. How can I say it's a failure? There's no other country that has been less disrupted in its historical process due to how far away it is from every other fucking actual point of conflict, and has yet provided decent results for the average citizen. What the fuck are we talking about? There are literally third world developing nations out there that use their marginal GDP to offer better amenities for their individual citizens. Meanwhile, you can't even fucking pay for insulin here. What the fuck are we talking about? There is no bigger failure than the United States, okay? It's a massive success if you are literally a Raytheon executive. It's a massive success if you're a capital owner. but it is demonstrably a failure for the average citizen. We have the most money. We are the wealthiest nation on the planet. We are the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. And yet we still have people that are dying of a lack of adequate food. We have child starvation in this country. We have food insecurity in this country for children. Children still have fucking lunch debt in this country. What are we talking about? That is before we even get into healthcare and medicine. We pay 10 times the price for medicine than any other country in comparison to any other fucking country. We have the worst overarching healthcare outcomes in comparison to other OECD nations. It's completely unacceptable. We have a fucking mass shooting happening almost every goddamn day. That's why I say it's literally a failure, because it has been failing ever since the regulatory bodies have been captured. How can you say it's a failure? Maybe in the most literal sense of the word? Yeah, that's, what do you mean? You think I mean it in a spiritual sense? I mean it in a literal sense. It is a failure. A dude walked in to a bowling alley yesterday in Maine and shot 18 people and killed them, walked into a different fucking restaurant and killed people there too, and he's still on the lam. This dude had serious mental health issues, and he had been fucking, he had been stopped before. I know this guy agrees with me. I don't know why he just said it in a very contentious way. Yeah. National total of $262 million in student lunch debt annually, and we are going to keep shaming kids, and we're going to send $1 trillion to wars. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. America is literally, for all of its advantages, America is literally the biggest failure, the most abject failure. Anyway, so yeah, it's a massive failure. My point was there's a lot of people that get mad at me when I say America bad, but they don't hear why I say America bad. They love it when I say America bad because no healthcare, right? But they don't like it when I say America bad, and maybe some other countries do good things that America should do when it's outside of the Western sphere of influence. Because I make comparisons to Norway all the fucking time, and people go, you know what? That's right. But if I make comparisons to China, then God fucking forbid, dude. Are you kidding me? High-speed rail? You shut your goddamn mouth, you communist piece of shit. You want 7 gorillion Uyghur Muslims to be genocided, okay? You want every fucking Muslim to be genocided like they did in Xinjiang. That's what you want to do. I know this. Also, simultaneously, I love when Israel is doing the Palestinians. That's what I love. But oh my God, dude, China, they're the ones who did it the most and the maximum amount and in an unacceptable way because they did it outside of the sphere of American influence. But Israel, when they do it, it's okay. Let's not call it no. Okay.
Hassan delved into the realm of being labeled a Tankie and his views on the American landscape. A multifaceted and compelling narrative unfolds. To commence, Hassan addresses the critics who brandish the Tankie label as a weapon of choice, an attempt to cast him into the shadows of political radicalism. He discerns that these critics wield the term as an emblem of their ideological disagreement, using it to create distance from his more revolutionary stance. This initial point serves as a crucial cornerstone in the exposition, highlighting the complexity of political labels and the deliberate efforts to marginalize opposing viewpoints. The liberal disdain for Tankies is an intricate dance of ideological discord that often elicits vigorous debate and passionate disagreement within the left-wing political spectrum. To understand this disdain, one must unravel the complex threads of leftist thought, which range from social democrats to Marxist-Leninists and everything in between. In this intricate tapestry of political ideology, Tankies represent a particularly radical and dogmatic group. The term Tankie itself carries a somewhat pejorative connotation and derives from the unflinching support that certain leftists gave to the Soviet Union during the 1956 Hungarian Revolution. These individuals were perceived as endorsing the use of Soviet tanks to quell the uprising, hence the term Tankie. While some may view it as a badge of honor, others see it as a symbol of blind allegiance to oppressive regimes. Liberals, who often occupy a more moderate position within the left, hold a disdain for Tankies primarily because they perceive them as uncompromising and dogmatic in their beliefs. Tankies are often associated with an unwavering loyalty to authoritarian socialist states, even in the face of evidence of human rights abuses and oppressive regimes. Liberals argue that this unwavering support for such states undermines the pursuit of a more nuanced and humane approach to socialist ideals. The liberal perspective emphasizes a commitment to democratic principles, individual liberties, and human rights. Tankies, on the other hand, are sometimes seen as willing to disregard these values in their pursuit of socialist goals. This fundamental disagreement lies at the heart of the liberal disdain for Tankies. The intricacy of this disagreement lies in the different interpretations of socialist ideology. Liberals emphasize the importance of blending socialist principles with democracy and respect for individual freedoms, while Tankies are often seen as promoting a more authoritarian and centralized approach. This clash of perspectives reflects the multifaceted nature of left-wing politics, where ideological nuances and intricacies give rise to passionate debates and disagreements. In the grand tapestry of political thought, the liberal disdain for Tankies stands as a testament to the rich diversity of ideas within the left, even as it sparks fervent discourse and debate. As Hassan continues, he reveals his grand ambition: the forging of minds and the construction of a formidable coalition. His aim is to transform perspectives and foster unity among those who share his political leanings. A shrewd strategist, he conveys his willingness to tolerate and even embrace those who stand further to the left on the ideological spectrum. In his astute political calculus, they become allies who can effectively nudge the pendulum in the direction he envisions. Crucially, Hassan acknowledges the valid criticisms lodged by social democrats, who view American policies as a series of disappointments. This moment of introspection mirrors the broader discourse in the left's intricate landscape, underscoring the existence of critical self-evaluation amidst shared goals and aspirations. The tapestry deepens as Hassan shifts his focus to his humor and critiques, an intricate blend of satire and commentary targeting an array of political ideologies. The keen observer, he dispels the notion of a single political target, emphasizing that his humor transcends party lines, resonating with an audience that appreciates the subtleties and ironies woven into the fabric of political discourse. In the shadow of his jokes lies a more profound conviction, a perspective that views America as a nation stricken by shortcomings despite its status as the wealthiest nation in history. Hassan casts an unflinching eye on the issues that plague the nation, citing food scarcity, child starvation, food insecurity, crippling healthcare costs, subpar healthcare outcomes, and the ever-persistent specter of mass shootings. This stark depiction of America's failings invokes an urgent call for change. Unpacking this perspective, Hassan unearths the concept of regulatory capture, a dynamic where corporate interests eclipse the welfare of citizens. Here, the intricate web of influence and power structures reveals the forces that shape policies and, ultimately, the lives of Americans. The narrative takes an intriguing twist as Hassan scrutinizes the dual standards in discourse. He juxtaposes his comparisons of America with nations like Norway and China, demonstrating the varying reactions they elicit. A certain consensus forms when comparing the United States to Norway, but an entirely different narrative unfolds when China enters the conversation. Accusations of genocide and ulterior motives arise, exposing the intricate dynamics of international politics and the inconsistencies in addressing various countries' actions. In this sweeping discourse, Hassan traverses the multifaceted realm of American politics and society, highlighting the subtle intricacies and complexities that shape our understanding of these issues. His candid revelations invite a fresh perspective, one that peels away the layers of rhetoric and unveils the nuanced realities beneath the surface. It is a masterful journey through the labyrinth of contemporary political thought, inviting readers to examine the intricate landscape of ideas, beliefs, and critiques that continue to shape the nation's destiny. Now, As we navigate this labyrinth of thought and perspective, let us pause for a moment to marvel at the intricacies of our human intellect. The very act of weaving together these intricate tapestries of political discourse is a testament to our capacity for intellectual gymnastics. We leap from one idea to another, drawing connections and unraveling the threads of complex ideologies. It is the splendid chaos of the human mind at its most vibrant. In this cacophony of political discourse, we find the beauty of disagreement. It is the crucible in which ideas are forged, tested, and refined. The clash of opposing viewpoints, like tectonic plates, creates the seismic shifts that shape our societal landscape. Each perspective, no matter how intricate or understated, contributes to the grand tapestry of human understanding. So, as we venture deeper into the labyrinth of ideas, let us embrace the complexity, the disagreements, and the diverse perspectives that enrich our discourse. In this intricate dance of words and ideas, we uncover the profound, the humorous, and the captivating facets of our shared human experience. It is a testament to our collective intellect, the magnificent mosaic of thought, and the unceasing quest to understand the intricate world we inhabit.